Ladies and gentlemen, let me remind you today of a truth that should stir your spirit and ignite a fire in your heart. You are chosen. You are not a mere accident of time and space. No, my friend, you were handpicked by God, and His grace has been over your life from the very beginning. Now, I know life can sometimes make us question our purpose. I know challenges have a way of clouding our vision. But let me tell you, if you're hearing this right now, you are here for a reason. You are not forgotten. You are not left behind. Today, I'm going to walk you through 5 unmistakable signs that you are chosen by God. These signs will open your eyes to the incredible calling on your life. They will remind you of the favor that rests upon you, even when you can't see it. So if you're ready, let's dive in, because understanding that you are chosen will change how you live, how you love, and how you walk through every single day. You are God's masterpiece, and His plans for you are far greater than you could ever imagine. Uncommon favor is one of the most powerful signs that you are chosen by God. It is the unexplainable supernatural grace that operates in your life, distinguishing you from the crowd. This favor isn't something you earn or deserve through your own works. It is freely given to you by God, who sees you as His beloved child. When God's favor rests upon you, it has the ability to open doors that would otherwise remain closed, and it provides opportunities that surpass your qualifications, efforts, and expectations. This kind of favor is often manifest in the form of unexpected breakthroughs, blessings that appear at the right moment, and relationships that accelerate your purpose in life. When you walk in uncommon favor, you begin to see the hand of God moving in ways that leave you in awe. Favor is not just about material blessings, but about the way God orchestrates circumstances to align with His will for your life. Sometimes this means that God will place people in your path who will offer help, encouragement, and support when you least expect it. These divine connections often show up in the form of mentors, allies, or even strangers who go out of their way to assist you, recognizing something special about you that you may not even see in yourself. The favor of God can also manifest in the way that things just seem to work out, even when you don't have the answers or the perfect plan. It's as if the universe aligns with your steps, and despite the obstacles you face, things begin to move smoothly, effortlessly, and in your favor. People who may have overlooked you in the past suddenly see your worth, and opportunities that were once out of reach begin to unfold before you. It's a supernatural acceleration of success and breakthrough that defies natural explanation. This favor doesn't mean that you won't face challenges or that you won't have to work hard to accomplish your goals. What it means is that when you face difficulties, God's favor goes before you and prepares the way. Even in moments when you feel inadequate, God's favor will make up for your weaknesses. It will help you overcome obstacles that would normally defeat others, and it will grant you the strength to endure. It is in the midst of adversity that God's favor shines brightest, turning what could be setbacks into stepping stones toward your destiny. One of the most profound aspects of God's favor is how it transcends human understanding. People may look at you and wonder how you've made it this far, given the challenges you've faced. But what they fail to see is the hand of God working behind the scenes, providing wisdom, protection, and opportunities that no one else could have orchestrated. The favor of God isn't limited by your current circumstances, your past mistakes, or your social status. It's not about what you have or don't have. It's about God's grace on your life, which has the power to make a way where there seems to be no way. When you are chosen by God and walk in His favor, you also develop a deeper sense of gratitude. You begin to recognize that everything good in your life, every blessing, every opportunity, every open door is a direct result of God's favor. You no longer take things for granted, but instead you embrace a spirit of thankfulness for the ways God has moved in your life. This gratitude leads to a heart of worship, where you give God glory for the miracles, big and small, that He has brought about in your life. However, it's essential to understand that uncommon favor doesn't always look the way we expect it to. While favor may come with opportunities, success, and breakthroughs, it can also show up in the form of trials and tests that are designed to refine you. Sometimes God's favor might not be immediately obvious, but when you look back, you'll see how everything was working together for your good. You'll realize that even in difficult moments, God's favor was protecting you, guiding you, and preparing you for what's ahead. Favor also doesn't mean that you'll always be popular or that everyone will understand the calling on your life. In fact, there may be times when people try to sabotage your progress or when others speak negatively about your journey. But God's favor is greater than any opposition. When you are chosen by God, no matter what others may say or do, His favor will overshadow any negativity. It is a favor that promotes you and protects you, even when you can't see it in the. As you walk in God's favor, you will find that it becomes a marker in your life, something that identifies you as different. It's a favor that speaks to the world around you, pointing others to the God who chose you. The more you acknowledge this favor, the more it becomes evident in your life. You begin to walk with confidence, knowing that you are not just another face in the crowd, but someone who has been set apart for a purpose. The favor of God grants you the boldness to pursue your dreams, to step into new opportunities, and to take risks that others may shy away from. Furthermore, uncommon favor carries with it a responsibility. When you are chosen by God, you are not just blessed for your own benefit. You are blessed to be a blessing to others. God's favor is not a commodity for you to hoard. It is a tool to be used to advance His kingdom and to bless those around you. As you experience favor in your life, you are called to extend that favor to others, to show kindness, grace, and mercy in a world that desperately needs it. In times when you feel unsure or unworthy, remember that the favor of God is not based on your own abilities or actions, but on His love for you. It is the mark of His divine choice, and it will carry you through every season of life, every challenge, and every triumph. When you realize that you are favored by God, you will begin to operate in a different realm of faith and expectation. Your eyes will be open to the opportunities and blessings that God has already set in motion for you. Uncommon favor is not just an abstract concept. It is a tangible, real experience that shifts the trajectory of your life. When you are chosen by God, His favor is your portion, and it will never fail you. Divine purpose is one of the most profound signs that you are chosen by God. It's the understanding that your life is not an accident, that every moment, every decision, and every path you've walked on has been orchestrated with a higher plan in mind. When you recognize that you are walking in your divine purpose, it changes the way you see the world, the way you interact with people, and the way you approach challenges. It's a realization that your life holds eternal significance and that everything you experience has a divine reason, even when it's hard to comprehend. Purpose is not just about what you do in the world, it's about who you are at the core of your being. It's the unique calling that God has placed on your life, a calling that is designed to bring glory to Him, to advance His kingdom, and to touch the lives of others in ways only you can. Your divine purpose isn't something you can create for yourself or something that can be forced into being. It is something that has been written for you by God Himself. It is embedded in the very fabric of your being and in the deepest desires of your heart. And it is only in aligning with that purpose that you begin to experience true fulfillment. When you understand your divine purpose, it shifts your perspective. Suddenly, the things you once thought were random occurrences or coincidental events begin to make sense. You realize that the challenges you face were not in vain. They were designed to refine you, to equip you, and to position you for what God has prepared for you. Your past experiences, the highs and the lows, all serve a purpose in shaping you into the person God has called you to be. Whether you've experienced success or failure, joy or sorrow, each part of your story has a divine reason, and each part is leading you toward the fulfillment of your purpose. This understanding of divine purpose also brings a sense of peace. Life's uncertainty and the pressure to achieve can often lead to feelings of inadequacy or confusion. But when you recognize that your purpose has already been determined by a loving and wise Creator, you find peace in the knowing that You don't have to figure everything out on your own. You don't have to live up to the expectations of the world or compare yourself to others. You simply need to trust in God's plan for your life and walk in obedience to the calling He has placed on you. Your divine purpose is not limited to what you do for a living or the titles you hold. It's not confined to the visible or the tangible achievements. Instead, it speaks to the impact you have in the world, the way you influence others, and the legacy you leave behind. Your purpose transcends your job or career. It's about the way you live and the way you affect the people around you. It's about living in alignment with God's will for your life, using your unique gifts, talents, and experiences to fulfill His mission on earth. There is a difference between being successful in the world's eyes and being successful in God's eyes. Success in the world is often measured by wealth, status, and material achievements. But divine purpose goes far beyond those external markers. True success is living out the purpose for which you were created, regardless of what the world values or how it measures success. When you are aligned with your divine purpose, you no longer find yourself chasing after empty pursuits. Instead, you find joy, fulfillment, and contentment in knowing that you are exactly where God wants you to be, doing exactly what He has called you to do. This understanding of divine purpose also provides a sense of direction. When you are unsure of your next step, God's purpose acts as a guiding light, leading you through confusion and doubt. Even when the path ahead seems unclear, you can trust that God will lead you where you need to go. The steps may not always be easy or predictable, but they are always purposeful. Even when you experience setbacks or detours, you can rest assured that God is still working everything together for your good. In those moments, you can find comfort in knowing that you are not walking alone and that God is guiding you with His loving hand. The divine purpose that God has for you is not something that can be altered or erased. It is part of your very identity. Even when you feel lost, uncertain, or disconnected, God's purpose remains unchanged. Your life is filled with potential, and every day is a new opportunity to fulfill the calling God has placed on your heart. You may not always feel equipped for the task, but God equips those whom He calls. He provides the strength, wisdom, and resources you need to walk in His purpose, and He will never leave you to face it alone. When you embrace your divine purpose, you embrace the fullness of who God has created you to be. Divine purpose also involves a deep sense of responsibility. When you are chosen by God and walk in His purpose, you are not just living for yourself. You are living for something greater than you. You are living for the advancement of God's kingdom and the fulfillment of His will on earth. Your life becomes a testimony to the goodness and faithfulness of God, and you become an instrument through which He can work. This responsibility isn't burdensome, it is a privilege. The fact that God has chosen you to fulfill a specific purpose in His grand design is an honor that should stir your heart with gratitude and devotion. Understanding your divine purpose also deepens your relationship with God. The more you seek Him and align with His will, the more you begin to understand who He is and who you are in Him. Purpose isn't something you figure out on your own. It's something that is revealed to you through your relationship with God. As you draw closer to Him, He will reveal more of His plan for your life. And as you walk in His purpose, you will experience greater intimacy with Him, knowing that you are living according to the divine plan He has set for you. Resilience through trials is one of the most undeniable signs that you are chosen by God. The path to greatness, to fulfilling the divine purpose on your life, is not always smooth. It's not without its difficulties, setbacks, and moments of hardship. But it is precisely through these trials that your resilience is built. And this resilience is a testament to God's hand on your life. Being chosen by God doesn't mean you won't face challenges. In fact, you may face some of the most difficult seasons of your life. However, the difference is that when you are chosen by God, you are never alone in those struggles. His strength is made perfect in your weakness, and His grace is sufficient to carry you through. Resilience is the ability to bounce back, to rise above challenges, and to keep moving forward despite setbacks. It's the unwavering determination to not give up when everything around you seems to be falling apart. And this resilience isn't something you generate on your own. It is a fruit of your relationship with God. When you are rooted in Him, when you know that He has a purpose for your life, you develop a spiritual tenacity that refuses to quit. You begin to understand that your struggles are not in vain, but they are tools in the hands of God to refine you, to strengthen you, and to prepare you for the greatness He has destined for you. The trials you face are not an indication that God has abandoned you or that He has forgotten about you. On the contrary, they are often signs that God is positioning you for something greater. Many times, our most significant breakthroughs come after the most challenging trials. Think about the story of Joseph, who was chosen by God for greatness, but endured years of betrayal, false accusation, and imprisonment. Yet, in the end, his resilience allowed him to rise to a place of influence and honor, where he was able to save nations and fulfill the purpose God had for his life. This story is a powerful reminder that God's plans for you are not thwarted by your trials. In fact, He uses them to shape you and prepare you for what is to come. Resilience through trials also teaches you to trust in God's timing. When you're in the middle of a storm, it can feel as if it will never end. The weight seems unbearable and the pain seems unending. But in those moments, God is teaching you to rely not on your own understanding, but on His perfect timing. His ways are higher than our ways, and His thoughts are higher than our thoughts. Sometimes we want to rush through the process of growth and transformation, but God knows that we are being shaped for something greater, and He will not allow us to skip the process. It's in the waiting, in the perseverance through trials that we develop the strength to carry the weight of our calling. As you navigate through trials, you will begin to see that resilience is not about avoiding difficulties, but about how you respond to them. Your response to adversity reveals your character and your faith. When you are chosen by God, He gives you the strength to endure hardships with grace and faith. Your response to trials becomes a testimony of His goodness and faithfulness. It is in your darkest moments that God's light shines the brightest, and it is in your weakest moments that His strength is most evident. The resilience you develop in the midst of trials is a powerful witness to the world of the God you serve. Resilience also gives you a deeper understanding of God's faithfulness. It's one thing to read about God's faithfulness in Scripture, but it's another thing entirely to experience it firsthand. When you face difficulties and come out on the other side stronger, you can look back and see how God carried you through. You begin to realize that every trial, every struggle, and every moment of pain was part of a bigger plan to build your character and deepen your trust in Him. As you grow in resilience, you learn to look back at your past victories and remind yourself of how far God has brought you. The same God who was with you in the past will continue to be with you in the future, and His faithfulness will never fail. Through the trials, God teaches you not only resilience, but also humility. It's easy to become prideful when things are going well, when everything seems to be falling into place. But trials have a way of humbling us, of reminding us that we are not in control. They strip away our illusions of self-sufficiency and force us to depend fully on God. This humility is a vital aspect of resilience because it allows us to acknowledge our need for God's strength and to surrender our will to His. It's in these moments of surrender that God equips us with the strength to continue moving forward. As you grow in resilience, you also begin to see that you are not just enduring trials for your own benefit. Your ability to persevere becomes a testimony to others who are going through similar struggles. Your resilience through trials becomes a beacon of hope for those who feel like giving up. When others see you walking through your storms with faith, grace, and courage, it encourages them to do the same. You become a living example of God's power to sustain, to restore, and to redeem. Your life becomes a message of hope, and through your perseverance, others find the strength to keep going. In addition, resilience through trials helps you develop a deeper sense of empathy. When you've been through difficult seasons and come out on the other side, you can relate to others who are facing similar challenges. You become more compassionate and understanding, able to walk alongside those who are struggling. This empathy allows you to minister to others in ways that are authentic and powerful. It's one thing to offer advice from a place of comfort, but it's entirely different to offer it from a place of experience. Your resilience equips you to be a source of support and encouragement to others, showing them that they too can endure and overcome. Moreover, the trials you face and the resilience you build give you a greater capacity to appreciate the blessings in your life. When you have experienced hardship, the moments of joy and success are even sweeter. You learn to celebrate the small victories and to be grateful for the grace that carries you through each day. Resilience teaches you to not take anything for granted, but to value every blessing as a gift from God. It reminds you that God is with you in every season, and He is always faithful, whether in times of abundance or in times of scarcity. The resilience you build through trials is not just for your own benefit. It is a vital part of your purpose. It strengthens you for the work God has called you to do and equips you to face the challenges that will come with fulfilling your destiny. God knows that the road to your purpose is not without its obstacles, but He also knows that He has equipped you with everything you need to overcome them. The trials you face are not meant to break you. They are meant to build you, to prepare you for what lies ahead, and to shape you into the person God has destined you to be. As we come to the close of this message today, I want you to take a moment and reflect on the powerful truth we've just shared. You are chosen, not by chance, not by accident, but by the divine will of the Creator who knows you by name. Remember, the signs we've discussed are not just markers, but affirmations of God's relentless love and faithfulness over your life. His favor is on you. His purpose is in you. You are not just a spectator in this life. You are a participant in a divine assignment, one that was written before time began. I know that sometimes you may feel uncertain or overwhelmed by the challenges you face. But I want you to leave here today with the unshakable confidence that God has chosen you for this journey. The trials, they're simply stepping stones to your destiny. The setbacks, they're setups for your comeback. The opposition, it's confirmation that you're exactly where God needs you to be. So stand tall, knowing that you are walking in divine favor on a path that God has ordained just for you. Let your heart be full of gratitude, your spirit full of expectation, and your steps full of boldness. God is with you, and nothing can stop His purpose for your life. You are chosen. You are set apart, and the best is yet to come.